Hi everybody, I'm Jeremy Cordo. Welcome to the Garage, the Court of Public Opinion. It's the 12th of August, my late brother's birthday. I always remember the day. I'll have a drink to him later. Dear Christopher, after whom my youngest boy is named. Christopher. Now don't forget to tune in to Peter Clayton's radio show, Triple Z. It's actually 5 Triple Z, but apparently you just do Triple Z. 2 hours of great music, 10 o'clock until 12. Triple Z is 91.1. Okay? Rate day today. Not ratings day. I used to hate ratings days. It was wonderful if you did okay, but you didn't always do okay. But it's rate day today. The RBA will cut interest rates today. Now we're recording this on Monday, so I've got no way of knowing what's going to happen on Tuesday. It's just common sense though, really. With more financial data that's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, and on Thursday, which will either confirm or condemn the decision that the RBA will make today. We'll see. We'll see. Ramping. Oh, God. Ramping hits a record high, an all-time high, 5,800 hours in the month of July. Just sort of get your mind around that. It's really pretty hideous, just sitting in the back, lying in the back of an ambulance. A shocking indictment of this government's health policy. The minister should take responsibility and resign. Or are you going to let them get away with it? Increased majority, maybe. The election was won on a promise to end ramping. It's that simple. That simple. There's a move in Victoria put forward by an independent member of Parliament. His name is David Limbrick. I'm going to try and get him on the live streaming show, the show on Friday around the dining room table, jeremycordo.com. Interesting guy. This should be adopted all over Australia. A law that enshrines our right to protect our property and our families in the event of a home invasion. Might surprise you to know that you don't have the law on your side. A simple self-protection law. At the moment it's a stacked deck, stacked against the victim, the homeowner. In the middle of a terrifying moment, probably sheer panic, under the current law, one can only use equal force, whatever that is. How are you going to work that out? And you can use a similar weapon. You have to calculate a reasonable response as opposed to an excessive or extreme response. God, I'd give them extreme. So if the intruder is coming at you with a machete, you can't reach for your baseball bat because somebody might see that as excessive. If something like this happens, and it's more and more likely that it will, we have to know that the law supports us, not the outlaw, who in any case would be out on parole or bail. Look, the truth is that at a moment like that, we all will instinctively either take flight or fight. How you fight and with what should be your decision. The law should be changed. I am totally with this guy. I don't know nothing about him, but this is a very sensible piece of legislation. David Limbrick is his name. What do you make of this? A Palestinian woman who thanked Allah for keeping her alive long enough to witness the Hamas attack on Israel could soon be here in Australia. She's applied for a visa. There's some discussion about whether they're going to cancel it. She got the visa. She got it. This is a story from the Advertiser, and I think it's also the Herald Sun, by Carly Douglas. Weeks after the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, welcomed a report calling for applicants to be barred for extremist views, including anti-Semitism. You don't get anything much more extreme than this lady, I tell you. Supporters have claimed a visa has been given to the woman who rejoiced at Hamas' deadly attack, which of course is still underway. She said, "We woke up and we got God's kingdom," whatever the hell that means. The woman, her name is Mona Zahed. She and her husband and 6 children are coming to Australia. Why? Why? What is it in this country that is attracting her, I wonder? Does this woman have our values? Or are we expected to adopt hers? This is really disgraceful. Really disgraceful. It is a watershed moment. How did she get that visa? Why did she get that visa? Who authorised that visa? And what will her presence in Australia achieve? Why isn't the opposition all over this? Huh? You're too timid. You don't stand for anything. You can't call this crowd an opposition. It's unbelievable. Really. But more to come on another day, I suspect. August 31, in every city, there will be a march. A march for Australia. I'll be there. It's not extremist. It's patriotic. It's about no more immigration involving people who do not share our values. It's as simple as that. More on the Friday show about that. Now, the National Debt Helpline. Imagine having in this great country of ours something called a National Debt Helpline. It has had a record number of calls, the greatest number of calls in 6 years. That includes the COVID years. Amazing. What is causing this? Listen, don't just report it, ask why. I know why. Anthony Albanese and his renewables and electricity bills that you can't jump over. Now this is an interesting one. A plane in flight goes into emergency mode because a mobile phone has caught fire. Now you're not allowed to put lithium-ion batteries in the cargo hold. Now the mobile phone is a small device, tiny battery. Can you imagine the danger caused by all this nonsense? Just what an electric car under your roof or a household battery in your home could do? And we are told that the batteries taken out of damaged or written off electric cars overseas are being repurposed and sent to Australia for use as household batteries. My God. Have you heard anything about this in the mainstream media? A single word? Are they muzzled? Dumb? Asleep? Deaf? I got no idea. Be warned, by the way, and this is official, most electric cars sold here in Australia do not come anywhere near the advertised range. People worry most with electric cars about range anxiety. They've even given it a name. Could it be that this is their way of handling that anxiety? Just lie about it? Could be. A crash in our booming stock market could be at hand. I am not a prophet of doom, I'm an optimist, but gee, all over the world it seems irrational exuberance has taken over. It's reasonable to assume that these indices just can't keep going up. And historically, September and October, this is when things usually crash. I have no idea why. And real estate, showing no signs of crashing, and after a rate cut today, definitely no. Real estate is booming as well. Last year, when questioned, 2/3 of people said they were concerned about interest rates. 1 year on, barely 17% say interest rates, not a problem. It's interesting. What else is around? The Australian Council of Social Services, one Cassandra Goldie, who will have a voice at the Tax and Productivity Roundtable next week. Funny. They want what the ACTU wants. The unions and the handout brigade speak as one on this. They want an end to negative gearing and an end to the capital gains discount. All the things that this government said before the election it would not touch. Now, I'm sure they will pretend that it wasn't their idea or initiative or intention, but we're merely being persuaded by popular demand. I think it's called a stacked deck. It's what they did with the stage 3 tax cuts. For years they said, oh, no, it's in law, set in concrete. No. But we were persuaded. They're con artists, ladies and gentlemen, pure and simple. Lie after lie after lie, and they get away with it, it would seem. It's important to note that the billion-dollar business, that is the ACTU, and the Australian Council of Trade or Social Services, both of these organisations, pay absolutely no tax. I'll bet you they won't bring that up. How will Labor preside over impartially handling this AI debate? Impartially at the Productivity Summit, when their masters, the unions, don't want a bar of it. It is the future, but the government will get its writing instructions and a significant test also for their common sense and their loyalty to the broader Australian public. With this all important, and it's going to be really interesting, I was going to say vital, but this tax and productivity stuff coming up, it's going to be interesting to see how they take advantage of the opportunity. Maybe we could look at the 14,000 pages of Australian tax law. 14,000 pages. It is just not fit for purpose. It's been added to and added to over the years. People are paid a fortune to understand it, and even they don't. Even paid to by the ATO to understand it. All of this has given birth to the billion-dollar tax advice avoidance industry. Wow! I tell you, KPMG, they call themselves the Big Four. Oh, they're called the Big Four. KPMG, there's Deloitte's, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Ernst Young, although I don't think they call themselves Ernst Young anymore. I think that they use just EY. Anyway, initials are obviously big. These are often called the Big Four, and you know why they're the Big Four. They're huge businesses. Do you know who has the simplest and therefore the best tax system in the world? No one would ever bring it up or tell you. It's a little place called Estonia. Estonia. Look it up. It's fair, so no one tries to avoid the tax. Everyone, government, business, and the people all seem happy. Cut the crap. Part of this upcoming roundtable should be looking at getting rid of the wasteful tax avoidance business. Keep it simple. The first rule of everything. Keep it simple. Then we have the charities and not-for-profits. Not-for-profits. You've got to be kidding. The AFL, $1 billion for-profit business, pays no tax. The NRL, same story. Basketball, soccer, sport is a huge profitable business. Charities are a $200 billion a year business, and I say under-regulated and unaccountable. No one knows how much money is collected and if it goes to the cause, if any. And I say that because you mightn't believe it, and it might surprise you, but there is no law that says that a charity has to give anything, a single cent, to the cause for which it is supposedly collecting the money. All tax-free. And then we have the tax scams. Yes, even the tax office has been scammed by these people. You saw that Four Corners show the other night. You'll know what I mean. People owe $56 billion in back taxes. It's all got too complicated. A simple flat tax, say like Estonia. Look at Estonia, 20%. No tax avoidance, fast and fair, win-win. Simple as that. We're here with the best wishes of the rising sun, ladies and gentlemen. 60 Bridge Street at Kensington. I don't know if you saw them at, I think it was Channel 9, or maybe Channel 10. They came in, you know, they do a little bit before the forecast, the weather forecast in a certain setting, and they picked the rising sun, people sitting around the open fires on the Chesterfields and all that sort of thing, cold afternoon. No, it looked really good. I don't know how Grant and Jackie organised that, but it was good. 8333-0721, the rising sun. A really atmospheric and marvellously welcoming pub, inn, and of course Elder Fine Art Gallery in Melbourne Street, North Adelaide. Their second auction for the year coming up. You can call them on 8267-2869, and I say the number because if you've got a painting and you'd like to get it into this auction, it's still not too late. They'll appraise it for you and slip it in, and it might be a quite profitable idea. Don't forget on Friday, 0491 65 68 60, jeremycordo.com, or you can get the app, which is Simple Radio, and you can put it on your telephone and you will have me, literally, as if you don't already, in the palm of your hand. Do I have to go, Pete? No, I do. All right, we'll do the birthdays. As I say, it was my late brother's birthday today. Happy birthday, dear Christopher Cordo. Many of you will remember him from his nighttime shows on 5DN. It was very successful. 1877, to his amazement, Thomas Edison records himself reciting "Mary Had a Little Lamb" on his newly completed cylinder phonograph, a device that records sound onto tinfoil cylinders. And then there were others that came along later, which were wax. 1877. You think the distance we've come in sound and entertainment from 1877, not so long ago, 1877. The conjunction of Venus and Jupiter on August 12, 3 BC. A popular theory for the biblical Star of Bethlehem. Clarence Birdseye is granted a patent for quick freezing food. Patent number, if you're interested, and sort of a part-time lawyer out there, US patent 1773079A. You could fact check it if you want. If you're crazy. No, I know you're not crazy. Anyway, it was this day in 1930. Bertha, wife of inventor Carl Benz, makes the first motor tour in 1888 on this day. A few years later, 1908, Ford Motor Company builds its first T-model, which Henry Ford himself first tests on a hunting trip to Wisconsin and northern Michigan. Okay, America is a day for inventions. American inventor Isaac Singer patents his famous sewing machine on this day in 1851. Guy Gibson, it doesn't have it here, but he was VC. Guy Gibson, British aviator who led the Dam Busters raid, was born in India. He died 1944, but born this day in 1918. Where are those sort of heroes gone, I wonder? American singer-songwriter Harry Nilsson, 35, weds for the third time, his final time. Una O'Keeffe, she was 22. Ringo Starr was the best man. 1976. British surgeon Joseph Lister performs the first antiseptic surgery using carbolic spray on instruments and bandages. 1865. We remember Joseph Lister when you go to the chemist and there's a bottle of Listerine. I don't know what he'd think of that. But it's nice to be remembered. Joseph P. Kennedy, Jr., brother of President John F. Kennedy, killed in action. His plane explodes over East Suffolk in England. He was only 29 years old. He was the one who was meant to be the president. 1944. Keith Murdoch, Australian journalist and newspaper owner, founded Murdoch Media in Melbourne, Australia, died 52, born this day in 1886. And just one more, John Denver, singer-songwriter, 44, weds Australian actress Cassandra Delaney, 26. They divorce in 1993. Was that the really acrimonious one?
I think so.
She wanted half the dining room table and he got out the chainsaw and cut it in half. Oh, it's an unpleasant thing when love doesn't work out. Thank you so much for being with us, ladies and gentlemen, here on Facebook, and Andy Martin will pop this out on various podcast venues, including Spotify. Thank you for finding us, and I hope you might find us again on Thursday morning when we'll post another Facebook show, and then again on Friday between 9 o'clock and 12, jeremycordeaux.com. Thank you. Believe in yourself, and thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion.